Yeah, do you know what? If you could answer that question very easily, I'd be a rich man. There's a lot of brands trying to do it at the moment, and it's something that it doesn't come easy. I think it's ingrained in the culture in the business. And again, I've been at challenger brands over the years. Everyman Cinema was a very small brand in London at the time. Paddy Power was well known for being very disruptive and challenging, and Gymbox is the same. And I think my learnings across all of these brands and how I would define a challenger brand or a disruptive brand is you've got to be kind of consistently inconsistent, if that makes sense. You've got to do the unexpected, do what normal brands wouldn't do. And I think you've really got to think differently. A lot of my a lot of my conversations, we don't go after traditional agencies. I don't tend to work with agencies that have worked with gyms before. I've worked with comedy writers, and I've worked with individual freelancers who have worked on kind of interesting brands. So I look at the person rather than the actual agency. And I think that is just a little bit of the way you can kind of do things differently. You've always also kind of got to kind of really understand your customer, excuse me, because I think a lot of people think challenger brands just come up with these crazy ideas and just go with them. And it's not true. I think, my days at Paddy Power, we really understood our customer. It was a little bit more laddie. It was kind of, 10 years ago we could get away with certain things. But we knew, and I know now, Gymbox, as long as you know your customer and you're talking to that customer in a way, it doesn't matter if you potentially offend other people, because I think that's the difficulty. It's a real balancing act between when you're being disruptive, not being offensive. And I think the world now is quite a different place than it was 10 years ago. And there's a line, and I've always tried to not cross that line, but occasionally you do cross the line when you're trying to be a little bit different, because you're trying stuff that hasn't been done. There's no template for it. You've got to be brave, and you've got to be, up for a challenge. And ultimately, all I've tried to do in my time is be humorous, just to put a smile on people's face, particularly now with everything going on in the world. Our approach with reopening after lockdown one, everybody was doing kind of safety videos on how how they were going to welcome you back to the gym. And ours was a little bit more humorous. We had dance guys in hazmat suits with kind of sprays around the gym. And we like to do things a little bit differently. And I think to be a challenger brand and to be relevant, I think that's really important.